Okay. Welcome everyone on today's Metal3 Community meeting. Today is 10th of September 2025. My name is Adam Rosman and I will be your host today. I think because of time limitations, sadly I have to skip the introductions, but we don't have new participants, and then I will also skip the reminders. Only one reminder is that the meeting is recorded, so please keep that in mind. And I will also skip the last part of the meeting, the backlog and milestone maintenance. I don't think there is much need for that today anyways. Okay, so related to the working group updates, I see that there are no news from Iron Scalability. I don't think we have done anything on our side either. I see, Dimitri, you mentioned that there might be some iPixie work coming.
It's planned on our side at least, so stay tuned.
Okay.
If anyone else is doing any work in this area, also let me know so that we don't clash.
Yeah, we have not planned anything specific for like iPixie firmware. Just the thing that I'm anyways doing with the TLS and the Apache configs. But you have reviewed that. Okay, if there are no other comments related to ARM, Ironic, or the AI, I have one comment about the artifact. Working group, we agreed last community meeting, or actually on the follow-up email, that there would be a new working group and we would coordinate work related to artifacts like IPA and node image and containers and all these things. So yeah, now there is a working group and there are email discussions going on. And I see, Dimitri, you have linked here one of the discussions.
Yeah, I think that's the main discussion here.
Yeah, thanks for that. I forgot to link this. Yeah, so please, anyone, feel free to read this one. I think there are quite a lot of info here already about the plans.
Yeah, I need to do some research. Nicholas has raised some very valid points. Whenever I find a second, I'll figure that out on a testing environment, how things actually work and what we actually can do. Probably build some proof of concept with our own standalone operator.
Okay, sounds good. Anyone else who would like to reflect on this, or we had one follow-up discussion related to the ESO? Yeah, I think we will discuss that too. But then related to this discussion on the OCI artifacts and the IPA building, anyone, any comment?
Just a quick one. I know that there are multiple, including Dimitri, that are working in Ironic community as well. I do not follow that community much, but is there any deadlines or anything we should be aware of if we want to have kind of new features for OCI support here, so that we can have them, so that we can plan for implementing this OCI artifact things?
Ironic is released 6 times a year, as far as we are concerned, at least. So we are the edge of the next release, probably happening this or next week. So that's definitely not getting any fixes or new features, and definitely not getting in this 32. Then the next one will probably be 33 or 32.1, and that will happen in a couple of months.
Okay, so if we have to get more features for CI in Ironic, that would be for 33 or 32.1 then?
Yes. Uh, If we do bug fixes, they can be backported to bug fix branches if we need that. Like, for example, right now I discovered that Ironic OCI support doesn't really work well with Quay. Key, how this pronounces Red Hat's registry. Anyway, it's a trivial fix. I have it already, just need to test it. So there's at least that. But that can be backported.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? If there's nothing more, then just quickly I mentioned that we had a lot of release activities last week, and this will continue. So there will be soon actual releases of the 1.11.0.11 cycles, and officially the deadline is Friday. We might just do not release on Friday. We might push it to Monday, but you will see anyhow. So it's very, very close. There were some CI problems in the background with our platform provider, but it has been sorted out, and I am putting the CI stuff in place. We already have the release branch actually for the RC there, or the release bench and the RC already. So please feel free to test it and give feedback, but the actual release will come soon. Any comments, questions related to the releases that happened? Okay, if nothing, then let's continue to the discussion topics. And as I said, backlog and milestone maintenance will be skipped today. And then we have the topic that is being discussed in the mailing list. So if anyone has any comments, I have not looked into this specific one. I was quite busy when I seen this yesterday.
So there's essentially one thing that is semi-contentious here that Tuomo raised is this proposal more tightly ties Ironic image branches lifetime to Ironic standalone operator, which is pretty natural because they released together. But there is this point about what we support in BMO and what we don't. And Tuomo mentions that we have different release cadences between BMO and Ironic. And I was really going to ask, how often do we release BMO, by the way? What is it tied to? Copy releases, or like how do we release it actually?
Yep, it is released with the same cadence as CAPM3 and IPAM, which are tied to copy.
How often is that?
Every 4 months, roughly.
Right.
Because
So
copy is in turn tied to Kubernetes, basically.
Right. So we get 2 Ironic releases for each BMO release, more or less.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I need probably to think more about how that's going to work. My initial reaction is that we can definitely make it work, even if we need to pull new Ironic standalone operator. Oh yeah, that's a good point. For everyone following along, we should eventually switch over to using Ironic standalone operator in BMO CI, including both integration and end-to-end jobs. And if BMO is released less frequently than Ironic standalone operator, and if Ironic standalone operator only supports 2 branches, we may end up situation where still supported BMO is using Ironic standalone operator, which is not supported anymore. Yeah, there can be many answers to that. Maybe we actually start releasing Ironic standalone operator less frequently, but then we cannot support new Ironic versions quickly. So I guess it's a no-go. Or we just don't break things in Ironic standalone operator that often. For example, we can have a deprecation policy that says deprecation period is more than one release, right? Like deprecation is like 2 releases, at least. I need to count. I cannot count on fly, right? So so that even older BMOs can use newer Ironic standalone operators, knowing that things won't be broken immediately. Something like that. Let me know your thoughts here, or since we don't have a lot of time, maybe in the mailing list or on Slack, whichever way.
Yeah, I
As a
think.
quick, yeah,
Yep, go on.
go on. Okay. As a quick one here, leads the maybe we want to keep like at least a release that match the latest stable OpenStack coordinated release, so that we are sure that we don't have anything breaking, especially if we use that for some CI tests, because we want to be sure that we are, well, in a good working state with the, I would say, the latest coordinated release.
So to rephrase, you are suggesting that BMO CI main branch, or which branch should be testing with Ironic from the latest coordinated release? Because that's not happening now, regardless of Ironic standalone operator.
Yeah. Oh, I thought we were testing with that because you were saying in the email that we should ensure that BMO is working against the this kind of ironic release.
Yeah, I actually thought of your company when I was writing that, because I think you are using coordinated releases of Ironic.
So far, yes. We may change that in the future if needed, but for now we are sticking to coordinated release because it makes it easier to identify all the dependencies versions.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, it's a good point. That's not the case now, so it doesn't really change so much with the release cadence question, except this point where I'm saying that we should start pruning API versions we support. But yeah, so okay, I'll ask this question. Are you folks interested in actually running some sort of third-party external CI with your products to ensure that things work?
We have CI running internally. I don't know if we could have it like run on the on this side. That's something that I may take a note for and ask internally.
Yeah, please do. I think it's a good conversation. I imagine it may not be possible. For example, it's pretty much impossible to run OpenShift CI on upstream projects for good reasons. So if it's possible, it's impossible. But if it's possible, I think you're going to get much more stability uh, for that.
Okay. I will write to the thread. I need to think this through because yeah, we release BMO with the same cadence, but I don't even think that's like written into stone. But I don't want to just throw around ideas. I have to read through this. I I don't really like the versioning topics, but okay. Anyone else? Any comments related to the IRSO and IRSO release policy and support policy for Ironic within IRSO? Okay, if nothing, then please join the discussion on the thread. I think that would be the best because then we would have a clear train of thought. And then Dimitri, you had another question by building Ironic image stable branches regularly.
Yeah, hope it's going to be a quick one. Just throwing in a thought. Reflecting on what it means that an Ironic image branch is supported, I started wondering if we should actually make sure the image in our registry is up to date with what is in the bugfix branch and what okay, any ironic image change will of course be published, but any ironic change, like if you backport any fixes to bugfix branch, or even more importantly to stable branches, they are not going to be picked up. So maybe for the lifetime of a branch, we should, I'm not sure which form we should take. It could be a periodic Jenkins job, but that will not be CI tested, or we could just have a bot propose a change every week. For example, every week, approve a GTM it, and if it passes CI, it merges and it triggers the build. So again, let me know your thoughts. Not an urgent question, but it ties neatly into this whole support policy discussion.
Yeah, there has been problems related to this, so I strongly support it. I have run into this 2 or 3 times already, that we thought something like that's a done and dusted ironic image, but then you try to build it and then it turns out that the ironic image is fine, but the source, when you install a source, there are some dependency problems, something with the upper constraint, something is going weirdly. So I certainly support this. And I think periodic would be actually fine, but it might be possible to actually track the GitHub fork of the OpenStack ironic and detect merge commits from Jenkins. But we have to check.
Okay. I'll create a bug on ironic image to track this. Feel free to put any thoughts afterwards. I'll ping you on Slack.
Yep, thanks. Anyone? Any comments? Any questions? Because if there are no more questions, comments, or discussion topics, then this was the end of the meeting for today. So thanks for joining, and let's meet next week, same time, same place. And until then, have a great week, everyone. Thank you all.
Thank you, Adam.
Thanks,
Thank you, folks.
everybody.
Thank you.